This is the W2 Prison Break Show, the podcast to help you fire your boss and become the CEO of your own business in under 12 months. I'm your host, Brian O'Neill. Welcome back to the show, everyone. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever experienced the feeling of burnout in your life? If you answered yes to that question in today's episode, I'm going to talk about burnout. I've just recently experienced it. I've experienced it many times in my life. And I'm going to share with you some tips and strategies on number one, why it happens. Usually it's self inflicted. And number two, how you can overcome it. By the end of this episode, you're going to have practical steps that you can apply to number one, avoid burnout altogether. And then when it does happen, because sometimes it happens, right? We feel burned out, how we manage it, how we deal with it, how we overcome it so that we're not feeling this super stressed out feeling of my goodness, I'm never going to get caught up. I'm never going to be able to get out of this situation. So stick with me here to the end. So first of all, I just want to tell you that this is completely normal. A lot of it is self-inflicted. And I'm going to pull out some strategies and some tips that I wrote in my book, The Burnout Cure. And if you're interested in that, there's a link in the show notes. You can go ahead and check that out. So last week on Thursday, I was really feeling burned out. I was really feeling stressed. I've been really attacking my business and my podcast and all of my content. And I've got my real estate business. So I do have a lot of balls in the air. I've got a lot going on. I also have a family, right? So it's hard to manage and balance all that sometimes. And I could feel it. I've gotten to the point where I notice it. Like I understand what's happening to me. Like, hey, Brian, you gotta take a break. You gotta chill out, right? Otherwise, your health is at risk here. I've developed strategies to recognize it and notice it. Okay. Not easy to do. And meditation has helped me with that, being aware, having awareness, understanding like, hey, Brian, something's going on in your body. My body was signaling to me that I needed to take a break and I needed to take rest. And rather than just try to power through it and push through it, which a lot of people do, I'm totally guilty of that. And I've done it throughout the years because you feel like, hey, if I stop, or if I don't show up tomorrow, or if I take a break, like the whole world's going to pass me by. Completely false. That is myth number one. I want to debunk. The world will wait for you. I miss nothing. I've done this multiple times in my life, and you will not miss a thing. So recognize it. Be aware that this is happening to you. Listen to your body. Again, meditation has really helped me with that. If you don't have a meditation practice, there's an app that I use. It's called Calm. It's 10 minutes guided meditation. Heck, you can do guided meditations for 90 seconds. You just have to start to pay attention to what your body is telling you and listen to it. So I have this experience where I'm feeling really burned out. And I just told my wife, I said, I'm taking tomorrow off. Okay. Now, do all of you have the ability to do that with 9 to 5 jobs? It's a little bit more challenging. But I literally said to her, I'm not doing anything tomorrow. And I checked out. I was on the couch. We watched a movie, like whatever it is for you that makes you feel better or makes you forget, go do that. Okay. If that's going out for a run or exercising, go do that. I've gone on long runs where I really kind of check out. And what this does, a couple of things. When you leave all that stuff behind, which is healthy, okay, it's healthy. You're not going to miss anything. We all think that we're going to miss out on opportunities. You're actually preventing opportunities when you try to power through it and try to push through burnout. This is a serious issue, guys. You gotta pay attention to this. It's okay to take a break. You should be taking a break. You should have scheduled breaks in your calendar where you're going to, and doing stuff that you enjoy on your own and leaving the entire world behind with yourself, by yourself. You don't have to do it with your family. You could just go by yourself, go watch a movie. I have a friend of mine, he goes to the movies by himself. That's his checkout. That's his mental break. That's his mental health day, if you will. So watched the movie, didn't do anything with my business. I didn't record any podcast episodes. I did none of that stuff. I just let it go. And sure enough, this happens every single time. I come back and nothing, I miss nothing at all. Now, this was Friday. You're listening to this episode on Monday. So I checked out on Friday and I told everybody too, because I got some messages that were coming in and I just say, hey, look, I'm taking the day off. I'll get back to you when I'm back in the saddle. So The message here is twofold. Number one, you have to have the ability to take that time off, take that day off. And hey, we all got sick days, right? So if you're not feeling it, just call in sick and do your thing. Because that to me is a sick day or a personal day. We usually all have that. Now, when you're a business owner, this is another reason why you should become a business owner. There's a lot of reasons. I didn't have to ask anybody for permission to do that. I just went ahead and did it. This is super powerful to have the ability to just say, hey, I'm taking a break. I'm focusing on me, my self care, because that's way more important than my business. Because if I can't be at my best, then my business can't perform. So I have to be my best so I can run the business the right way. These are a few reasons why burnout happens. There's more than what I'm about to share you in my book, The Burnout Cure, but here's some of the self inflicted things that happen in your life that can cause burnout. Number one, your time management is just not there. You're poor at time management. You're living in reactive mode versus taking control of your day and owning it. So when you're in reaction mode, you have poor time management skills. You got to get a handle on that. You got to get a handle on your time management. There's books you can read. I can help you with that if you choose to do so. Again, you can book a call with me, 15 minutes. We can just talk about the time management piece of your life. Like, how do I get better at time management? Okay. A lot of this stuff is self inflicted. We don't know how we're spending our time. And as a result, the day overruns you and that stacks up on you. And all of a sudden it's like, hey, I'm underneath it here. And I have this feeling of burnout. Like I can't ever get caught up. You feel like you can't ever get caught up. Self inflicted. Time management skills need to improve. You do not have proper boundaries set in your life with people who live in your house, people who live outside of your house, your employer, people that you work with, people that you know. You are not setting the proper boundaries with people in order to be better at time management, to control your day, to run your day and not have the day run you. That is most people's downfall, is they're letting outside circumstances control their situation. So if you set proper boundaries with people, hey, this is when I answer my email, this is when I return phone calls, this is when I do these particular activities, then they know you don't have to worry about texting people back right away. If you're someone who feels like the ding goes off on your phone or your email and you have to respond right away, you do not know how to set boundaries properly. When people text me, there's two people that I respond to right away: my wife and my son. Everyone else will wait until I respond to text messages. And if I miss an opportunity on that, which I don't, then so be it. But I don't, because everyone understands, hey, Brian is not going to respond to me right away. My phone is on silent the entire day, the whole day. And I don't miss anything. I look at it when I have my time scheduled the proper way. You can do that. And if your boss doesn't appreciate that, then you need to explain to him or her that, hey, I'm most effective when I'm doing, if you're a salesperson and you need to prospect, you need to do your prospecting so that you can get leads and go on appointments and close deals. And you're constantly getting interrupted by your boss or mid-level management asking you to do stuff, and you're responding to it and you're allowing that to happen. You're responding to emails, you're responding to text messages or DMs or whatever you use for communication. You got to tell them, hey, this is my prospecting time. I need this block of 1 hour or 90 minutes, and I'm not going to respond to you. You're interrupting my flow. You can't come in my office door, or you can't call me, or if you work from home, whatever it is. They will appreciate that. If you present it to them in that way, like, hey, this is my time to prospect. Don't bother me. Please, I'll get back to you afterwards. The world can wait, guys. This is my message to you that everything can wait. Everything can wait. We all think that we have to do stuff right away or we're going to miss out on an opportunity. That is a scarcity mindset. You need to quit doing it. Set proper boundaries with everybody in your life. If they don't like it, you might want to consider whether or not that person is worthy of a relationship in your life, because they're holding you back. All they're doing is sucking your time away. And then you feel burned out because you can't do the stuff that you're supposed to be doing, that you're trying to do so you can get ahead. Quit letting people rob your time from you. Set the proper boundaries. I'm going to give you one more tip here, okay, about how it's self inflicted. Delegation. So, time management, delegation. You are doing stuff you're not supposed to be doing. If you're making $50 an hour and you're doing $10 an hour jobs, you got to quit doing that stuff. And this goes for your business, your 9 to 5 job, and your personal life. Look at, evaluate. Again, this is part of the time management process, and I'm happy to help you with this. You guys know how to book calls with me. I have a free 15-minute call that everybody gets. If you're feeling like you're stuck with time management or how to set proper boundaries or how to delegate, you got 15 minutes with me. I can't say it enough. It's totally free. Book the call and come prepared and say, okay, hey, I need some tips here, Brian, on how to delegate. What do I delegate? What can I hire out? If I started a business tomorrow, whatever business it is, knowing that I don't want to be the one doing all the work, I would hire somebody from the jump, 10 hours per week minimum to do all the stuff that I should not be doing, all the paperwork, the email management, so that I'm not the CEO, the financial person, the accountant, the salesperson, and the bookkeeper and everything else. Like you can't wear all those hats. That is a recipe for burnout right there. And I know a lot of solopreneurs who are feeling burned out. You got to get people on your team to do the stuff that you should not be doing. Burnout. Okay. Circling back to my burnout experience recently, and this has happened many times in my life, guys. This will probably occur again. You have to check yourself. So I'm aware of it and I've felt it in my brain. Like I'm like, man, like I feel stressed out. I got to stop doing this. I got to take a break, make the decision. And sure enough, as I'm not doing any work and I'm checked out and I'm out not going into my office, I started to feel better because I didn't feel like I had to do stuff. Like a lot of us feel like we have to do stuff. Well, I got to do this. No, you don't. What's going to happen if you don't do that? If What's going to happen if you wait until tomorrow to do that thing that you think you have to do? The story that you tell yourself, I have to do this. What if I don't do it today and I do it tomorrow? What's going to happen? What's the worst thing that could possibly happen? Usually it's just a story you're telling yourself, right? What's going to happen is that you're going to get deeper into this burnout. You're going to end up in the damn hospital. All right. So take care of yourself because nobody wants that. You're no good to anybody if you get an ulcer, right? Or if you get so stressed out that you have to go to the emergency room. We don't want this to happen, guys. So listen to your body. That's what I did. I started feeling that way. And yes, I'm a human being. Okay. I feel the same way. I self inflict burnout, but I also know how to cure it. I felt better. Once I watched the movie, we watched another movie after that. I was just talking to my wife. My mom's here. I was talking to her. I was just hanging out. I took my son. I drove him over to his grandparents' house. Like I was in the car. I was like, I'm out of the house, man. I'm doing stuff. Like it doesn't have to be anything major. I'm just not doing all the other stuff that was making me feel burned out. I felt so much better. I slept phenomenal that night, right? Like I had not been sleeping well because it's like, oh, hey, there's a lot of stuff that I feel like I have to do that I got to do. Felt so much better. One day, sometimes all it takes. One day to get over this. All right. So wrapping up the lesson here, guys, I want you to recognize this because self-care is really important. Really, really important. Don't ignore it. You can't possibly help all the people that you want to help and do all the things that you want to do if you are not at your best physically and mentally. So make sure that you're taking care of yourself because otherwise you're not going to be around for people. All right. Wrapping the episode up here. If you stay to the end, I appreciate it. I have a very big announcement that's coming up on Friday. That's all I'm going to say. This coming Friday, I'm going to announce something pretty cool that I'm doing. So make sure that you're subscribed to the show so that Friday's episode, again, I'm 5 days a week coming at you here, but so that Friday's episode pops up on your feed and you hear what is coming. It's really exciting. I've been working on it for a little bit here and I'm going to announce it on Friday. Take care of yourself. You deserve it. I'll see you tomorrow. Make it an excellent, excellent day.